Many military analysts, they spoke out and they basically said that the amount of weapons that Hezbollah has, it makes it impossible for Israel to do anything to win this war. Now, obviously, these are all coming from military analysts. But now, United States, they themselves have warned Israel that the missile defense system they have, including the Iron Dome, whatever they have, it could be overwhelmed. It could be overwhelmed by the Hezbollah forces. Now, this is not a claim I'm making. This is something that is coming from CNN itself, a Zionist, pro-Zionist media entity. Take a listen.
Well, a full-blown war could overwhelm the Iron Dome, the cornerstone of Israel's defense system. That is according to US officials. Little surprise that rare warning came down in a week when we have seen increased signs of an expanding war on the Israel-Lebanon border. Let's take a closer look. This very latest round of hostility kicked off with this video, 9 minutes of purported drone footage released by Hezbollah showing civilian and military sites some 30 kilometers into Israeli territory. It reached as far as Haifa port, arguably one of Israel's most important economic lifelines. Reaction inside Israel was naturally fierce. The government reminded Hezbollah it would be destroyed in a, quote, all-out war, with the cabinet announcing it has approved in principle plans for an offensive in Lebanon, though putting plans into action, of course, is another story.
By the way, guys, if you do not know, the Israeli war cabinet, they have already approved a war against Lebanon. So they are going after Hezbollah inside Lebanon. And this time, what I understand, they're going to push it even further, and they're going to have Iran coming under their attack.
For one to sit back quietly, Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah weighed in with his own televised speech, boasting that the group's growing capabilities and even taking a dig at the Mediterranean island of Cyprus, which he accuses of aiding Israel to prepare for potential war.
So what is ClickUp? ClickUp is an all-in-one.
So obviously this is not looking good for the Israeli, because Hezbollah now has information, deep insight from Israel. They know where the targets are. If they want to target, for example, the Israeli military assets that are very, very significant to them, they know already where to shoot down those targets, those arsenal they have, the military arsenal. And therefore, it is making absolutely impossible for Israel to really come up with any solution to solve the current crisis that they have with Lebanon.
This is what you need to know. The Center for Strategic and International Studies calls Hezbollah the most heavily armed non-state military in the world. Most estimates put it at having around 45 to 100,000 soldiers and upwards of 150,000 short, medium and long-range rockets.
Unbelievable.
For months, we've been reporting on flare-ups along the Lebanese border and the spectre of a wider regional war. While both sides may want to avoid that, the reality is that in these situations, things can break loose from a single miscalculation. The longer this back and forth goes on, the more likely that becomes. So how expansive are Hezbollah's capabilities? And how much more than psychological warfare are we looking at this point? CNN's veteran Middle East correspondent Ben Wiedemann is in southern Lebanon to help us unpack all of this. Ben, let me start with the US voicing these concerns. I just want to remind our viewers the purpose of the Iron Dome system is designed to intercept incoming rockets with a range of up to 70 kilometers. Nasrallah on Wednesday boasting that his military had only used a portion of his arsenal, and here is more of what he said.
The enemy knows that no place in the entire state is safe from our missiles, and it won't be arbitrary. Everything will be deliberately targeted.
Washington concerned that Hezbollah could overwhelm this Iron Dome system.
Okay,
Multiple
absolutely.
sources have told CNN that. Could Hezbollah easily overwhelm this system?
Okay, so I don't know why they talk about Hezbollah doing something with the Iron Dome system. It is already being proven that the Iron Dome system doesn't work. I mean, take a look what happened when Iran attacked Israel a few months ago, when they attacked Iranian embassy in Syria. The Iron Dome completely failed. It failed miserably, and still they come out with making some harsh rhetoric against Hezbollah that we're gonna go to war with you and then we're gonna annihilate you. Like, how dare Israel? I mean, this is a diaper army. This whole entire army, Israeli army, diaper army, they rely on US military. So everything that you are seeing or hearing, the saber rattling from Israeli military, it is because they believe or they want US to fight the war for them. I mean, it is impossible militarily for any IDF unit. I mean, they cannot even fight Hamas in Gaza. How can they fight Hezbollah? So for IDF, you take a look at it from as a naval force, as a ground force, whichever way you look at them, they cannot win. They cannot go into Lebanon. What they're doing right now is they're just dropping bombs using fighter jets and drones. That's all they're doing. They can never imagine sending their own army, their military, into Lebanon to fight Hezbollah. Who will fight the war? Of course, is the United States. That's what they want. At least that's what they want. But obviously, U.S. under Biden administration, they already warned Israel that your system can be jammed by Hezbollah. It means we're not going to help you. We already told you, and this report where U.S. warned Israel about Hezbollah came out months ago, that we have warned you in the past. Why did you mess up with Hezbollah? We told you not to fight with them. Now, U.S.'s military, don't think that they're so naive. And I personally don't think that all of the U.S. military personnel will go to war. I mean, some of them even might, who knows, they might revolt against this kind of order, because a lot of the U.S. military and high officials from the Biden administration, they resigned over the war in Gaza. So are they spunky about this? Yeah, we're going to go and defeat Hezbollah. No, they are not. They're in fact very, very upset about the decisions that Biden administration made. So it's a real struggle that Israel is in right now. Their calculation is going all wrong. They should not have gone to Gaza to fight and commit this genocide, and now they want to fight with Lebanon, with Hezbollah. All for what? All for Netanyahu to protect himself. And this is actually going to get much, much worse. So let's take a listen to what this person will say from CNN.
Becky, I don't think it could overwhelm the system, but it definitely could punch some serious holes in it. I mean, for one thing, what we've seen since October is that Hezbollah has been focusing specifically on knocking out Israel's surveillance equipment that keeps an eye on what's going on the other side of the border. And for instance, we saw that 9-minute video of a drone over Haifa collecting all sorts of intelligence on sensitive military positions. We saw also recently a video put out by Hezbollah showing them knocking out an Iron Dome battery. Just last night, Hezbollah on its Telegram program channel put out a video of some sort of projectile knocking down what's called the drone dome, an anti-drone system. So clearly, Hezbollah...
Obviously, he's not mentioning about the 150,000 missiles they have at their disposal. Hezbollah, can you imagine seeing 150,000 missile coming to you? Can your Iron Dome defend you from that? Obviously not. These are all false promises, and these reports, they're so biased, they don't want to talk reality of it. They just want to sell the war to us. But of course, even now, they channels like mainstream media like CNN, they are not even reporting that, Israel is in actually big trouble, and so you better be prepared for it. But obviously, things are looking not good at all. The escalation is happening as we speak. Where it will end, it will only be determined by the level of arrogance they have, the Netanyahu government, against other entities in the region.